You're listening to Ask the Expert with Andrew Johnston.
Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to this week's Fast Facts. I'm your host, Andrew Johnston, and I want to talk to you about a really important topic that has been top of mind for me in this very short episode on workplace culture. And the reason why it's top of mind is because I've been watching this. I guess we can call it maybe a documentary. It's not probably really a documentary, but it's on the Dallas Cowboys, more specifically about their owner, Jerry Jones. And it's on Netflix, and it just came out, I think, about a couple weeks ago. Now, if you don't know Jerry Jones, he is this larger-than-life personality. He loves having the spotlight shown on him. But in doing so, if you can imagine, as the owner of this team, and he's also the general manager for this team, in doing so, it creates a lot of stress, or maybe it creates some situations and some issues for the people that either work for him. Well, actually, I guess everyone works for him. So directly below him, or even all the way down to the players and things like that. Now, I know most of you are probably not the hugest sports fans, so I'll try and keep the discussion about the documentary a little bit on the shorter part, but I think it shows and illustrates a little bit about how some people sacrifice the idea of success because of their viewpoint on culture. From how I understand it, from, again, this documentary and very many other things I've watched in sports, Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys, and he immediately fired the head coach. The head coach generally is the person that sets the tone for the team, and the community had loved this coach, and he did it very unceremoniously, just immediately fired him. So the community was irate. But to Jerry's defense, the team wasn't doing so well anyway, and so change probably had to happen. But who Jerry chose to be the successor and how that part was delivered was also not the best. So Jerry decided to bring on an old college roommate who was also on the same football team as him. And this roommate was currently coaching in college, and he was very successful at coaching in college. And so he said, hey, I want you to come in and be the head coach. So he brings in this friend, Jimmy Johnson, and shortly thereafter, they won back-to-back Super Bowls. Now, that is an incredible feat. That almost never happens. And with that kind of success comes a lot of attention. Now, it wasn't that Jimmy, the head coach, didn't like the spotlight, but he didn't like maybe the flamboyance of it. He didn't like how Jerry enjoyed it, which was so theatrical, so over the top. Jerry loved to play in the press, which, if you think about it, for today, it'd be akin to maybe our social media influencers, the people that just look at me, look at me, look at me, and are trying to get really popular. That's the Jerry Jones of yesteryear through the press. So even though they had just won back-to-back Super Bowls, again, almost an impossible feat, the culture that was being set at the top didn't mix with the person that was responsible for getting the team position to win, which was the head coach. So Jimmy decided he was going to walk away. Now, with that decision, Jerry Jones was just crazy mad about this. And so there's a big old fight, and the friendship was lost. Potential Super Bowls were lost. And in January, it'll have been 30 years since the Cowboys have won the championship. Now, there is also another narrative that maybe the owner, Jerry Jones, doesn't even care about winning football. Maybe he only cares that fans will pay millions and millions of dollars every single year, and winning the championship isn't the most important thing, as long as they kind of somewhat a little bit come close. Who knows? I don't really know that part. Now, how does this relate to you? I think it's really important for you to understand, like, who are you in this story? Now, we don't really have too many probably CEOs, executives listening to this show. If you are listening and you are an executive, probably the takeaway is just don't be like Jerry. It's okay to want to win and love winning and play in the media. There's nothing really wrong with that. But I think it's really important that you have to adapt, especially when the metrics are proving that your team isn't winning. And in the case of Jerry Jones, when you're both the owner and the general manager, maybe you need to step aside and hire a general manager that knows how to win Super Bowls. And also think about your players. How happy are your players or your employees playing for a losing team? It's never fun playing for a losing team. Now, if you're the Jimmy Johnson in this, the coach, well, there's lots to learn from him too, because he pivoted into a very successful 30-plus year run on Fox's NFL shows. There are places that suit you and your cultural philosophy, and these places are hungry for someone who is really good at what they do. You just have to look for it. Now, if you are one of the players in this story, there are a ton of teams to play for, other offices. Not all of them are going to be perfect, but you can find the ones that are steady, the ones that have low turnover, that invest in their employees. The employees are happy and productive. There's the occasional opportunity to do a playoff run or Super Bowls. I'm not really sure what that equates to in dentistry. Maybe it's being like the number one dental office in your town or city or whatever. Maybe that's, I guess, the Super Bowl. I don't know. I might have missed on that reference. But overall, you deserve to be happy at work. When you are happy, then the patient is better protected. And oddly, the office will see an increase in production, even if accidentally. And I know you guys don't want to talk about production, but that is a thing. I'm actually going to put in the show notes a link to a paper from 2023. And basically, I mean, it's the stuff that we already know. You don't even have to click on it if you don't want to, but it says when people are satisfied at work, they're more productive. And then there's a similar report from 2019. It shows that while happy employees are more productive, they are not doing so in additional time, meaning they're not working through lunch. They're not staying after hours. They work the same number of hours, but they're just more efficient with their time. They stay on task. So everyone, thanks for listening to this episode. I think it's really important. If you're a sports fan, then you know that this whole entire episode was a pretense for me to be able to attack Jerry Jones for not signing Micah Parsons yet. But if you're not a sports fan, then yeah, this was totally about office culture and stuff. As always, if you have any questions or comments, then please shoot me a message, Andrew at A Tale of Two Hygienists. Thank you so much. Have a great Monday.
Thank you for listening to Fast Facts Ask the Expert. If you have a topic you'd like one of our experts to answer, simply email me, Andrew at ataleoftwohygienist.com, and we will get it on the air as soon as possible. Thanks for listening.